First this morning and breaking overnight, more Jeffrey Epstein case files were released.
The Justice Department released tens of thousands of additional documents, appearing to be the largest release to date. This latest release includes documents and hundreds of videos. The data set appears to include FBI documents, internal Justice Department communications, court subpoenas, legal documents, and records relating to Epstein's death in federal custody. CBS News has a team examining these latest files and will continue to share new findings over the weekend. President Trump reacted to the release of thousands of photos of Epstein with notable figures, including Trump himself and former President Bill Clinton.
A lot of people are very angry that pictures are being released of other people that really had nothing to do with Epstein, but they're in a picture with him because he was at a party, and you ruin the reputation of somebody. I don't like the pictures of Bill Clinton being shown. I don't like the pictures of other people being shown. I think it's a terrible thing.
Once again, these latest files were released during the overnight hours. We'll continue to update you as we learn more.
Parents at a metro school district are voicing concerns as schools close their doors. So there was a listening session last night. This was with the Robbinsdale School Board, and there was an overflow crowd expressing support for the middle school magnet program. Now, the board recently voted to close 3 schools following a massive error that left the district about $20 million in the red. Now, parents are concerned more closures could be coming.
Why are we talking about this? How does this possibly make sense? And the short answer is myself and many other parents have been unable to find the logic. And we are here today en masse asking for the logic and the data and the reasoning behind these decisions.
Robbinsdale Board will hold another public hearing and vote on January 5th.
We're working to learn more details after a crash shut down Warner Road near Highway 61 over in St. Paul last night. Police say the man on the bike is in the hospital with life-threatening injuries after a crash between him and a vehicle. They say the woman driving the car stopped and shows no signs of impairment. No arrests have been made.
New developments in the murder case of 3 people at a Metro homeless encampment. A Hennepin County jury has now found a man guilty. Earl Bennett was accused of firing several shots into the small encampment. This was last October in Minneapolis before running away. 2 of the victims died there, and the 3rd later died at the hospital. A judge will sentence him on January 16th. Bennett also has a hearing today for an attempted murder charge in a different shooting.
And in the murder case of a Metro real estate agent, the man convicted now knows his fate. Prosecutors say Lyndon Wiggins was the mastermind behind the plot to kidnap and murder real estate agent Monique Bao on New Year's Eve 2019. He was sentenced yesterday to life in prison with no chance of parole. They say he targeted Bao because she was the girlfriend of a rival drug dealer. His first conviction was overturned due to bad jury instructions, but he was found guilty during a second trial.
All we know is our baby girl was treated like less than human, and she was terrified, and she lost her life in a dark alley, and I was not able to be there and save her.
Co-defendants Barry Davis and Cedric Berry were also sentenced to life in prison. Wiggins' girlfriend Elsa Segura pleaded guilty to kidnapping and was sentenced to 20 years in prison.
And new charges for an Ohio man accused of threatening a Minnesota judge's life. The menacing phone calls happened during a statewide conference for judges in Hennepin County earlier this month. Court documents reveal the man has a history of crimes in Minnesota, Wisconsin, and other states. Those include convictions for making harassing and threatening calls to dozens of courthouses and government buildings.
Now to the latest from the live desk. Maria Lizignoli joins us now as educators at Minnesota's largest school district have voted to authorize a strike. Maria, is there still hope to avoid it?
Yes, even though 98.5% of union members voted to approve a strike, it's only if necessary. The union released a statement saying they hope to avoid it. Late Monday afternoon, the union filed an intent to strike with an tentative start date of January 8th. Union leaders say talks with the district have stalled. Educators' main sticking points are unaffordable health insurance costs and non-competitive pay. New this morning, we're hearing from members of the school board about those concerns.
I also do want to acknowledge the real impact that rising health insurance premiums have on our staff's take-home pay, while also noting that the district does not control the underlying cost of health care itself. And then, like other board members have expressed, I also want to acknowledge that a work stoppage is not a desirable outcome for anyone, not for our teachers, not for our students, not for the families, and not for the community.
A spokesperson for the school district says wage and benefit increases have been offered to all groups that bargain with the district. Coming up in the next half hour, hear from the educators who are ready to walk off the job if their demands are not met.
Okay. We'll be keeping an eye on that one. Thanks, Maria.
Let's check in with Joseph over there because we got a Blue Next weather tower, meaning a little bit cooler temps today.
Yeah, yesterday we almost hit 40 degrees and you could tell it was quite nice outside and pretty mild. It was so busy. Well, today we're going to take those down just a little bit, but it's still going to be above average. All right, I still think we're going to be in the lower 30s this afternoon. We'll be quite mild though heading into the weekend outside of today. Today is definitely going to be our coldest day, and it's not even going to be that cold around here though. You folks up north, definitely in the teens and single digits today, so it will be chillier for you. We'll watch Christmas night for some rain around here, but if you're in northeast Minnesota, that might mean more of a wintry mix in snow. And I'm going to walk us through the weather models here in just 1 second to help us out with that portion of the forecast. I have winter weather returning Saturday. The weather models are still trying to get a grasp on that. And then cold and windy on Sunday. All right, so if you like the 30s, if you like this mild air, you get it for a good 4 or 5 more days before we see something that's a little more seasonable or even a little bit cooler than seasonable coming up. We're pulling all of our warm air up from the southwest, though, and we have ridging going on, so it's kind of pushing our storm track away from us. Very active to the southwest as that southwest flow is bringing in a lot of moisture for the west coast, but we'll stay warm. Yesterday, Denver hit in the lower 70s, and through the whole Four Corner region, they'll be in the 70s. I saw something very interesting. It was only going to be like 10 degrees cooler than their 4th of July forecast and warmer than Memorial Day for them. So kind of wild over there. For us, just in the 30s, we'll go at 36 degrees on Thursday, 37 on Friday. I think travel's going to be okay, but I am monitoring Saturday evening for some moisture. Some of that moisture we will pull from the west coast there, and we will bring that here, delivering that by the time we head into the weekend. First disturbance, though, is going to arrive Thursday night, mainly north of us. That clears on out. I don't think it's going to be a large impact for us, maybe some drizzle, but I think up north there could be some issues. And then second system moves through Saturday evening with a cold front. Weather models right now, I think, are underplaying that system. That's something I do want to monitor heading into the weekend, and we'll have you covered. That's part of our next weather promise. 39 degrees on Saturday. Cold front will cool us down to 17 on Sunday, and overnight temperatures in the single digits.
All right, there's nothing to curse about with this weather, Joseph.
This is quite nice.
Yeah.
This is quite nice. Upper 20s this morning. We have sunshine going on outside, and we'll have more today. It is probably going to be our brightest day as far as, open skies and sun coming through today, as well as our coldest day this week, but it's really not going to be all that chilly. It's still going to be above average for us. And we have a pleasant forecast kind of coming through for our Tuesday. So enjoy. I just keep on saying this is great weather to still get out, do some things. If you have to take family to the airport, good day for it. If you have to run to the store, grocery store, great day for that too. All right, headlines. Mild now through the weekend. Well, into the weekend for half of the weekend, and then it does get a little chilly. That's my last headline there for our Sunday. I do have some rain in the forecast Christmas night. Maybe a wintry mix, and that may lead to a couple problems overnight Thursday into Friday. And then I am watching for another system Saturday that's going to knock us down from these mild temperatures back to something that's just a little cooler, that feels a little bit more like Minnesota this time of the year. For now, it is very, very warm down to the southwest. We have ridging going on, so the storm track basically either north of us, cruising to the east, and then a steady flow of southwest winds coming out of the west coast, which is ushering in a lot of moisture for those folks there. For us, though, it is quiet and we do not have a lot going on. Watch the temperature forecast as I take us into this afternoon, only topping off at about 31. So it feels like we're going to soar back to about 40 today, but it's going to be a little more limited because of that northwest flow today. But check out Denver, nearly 70 degrees. Down to the southwest, upper 70s. Portions of Oklahoma are going to be in the mid to upper 70s. I was reading earlier that there's some communities only like 10 degrees cooler than their 4th of July forecast and warmer than their Memorial Day forecast. So that just tells you right there. A lot of warm air also banked down to the southwest as well. For us, we're going to keep it going about the same for our Wednesday for Christmas Eve, too. And it's still the same down to the south as well. Still very, very warm. So a short drive to Denver could get you back into the 60s and 70s if you wanted to live that out for a little bit. For Christmas Day, I'm going to go mid-30s now. I think the temperatures are going to come down just slightly. Up north, I have 20s and 30s in the forecast. You'll see a few icons there. Yeah, divvying out a little snowflake icon or a little rain icon. That's going to be our first little hiccup that's going to arrive for Christmas. I don't see a lot happening before then. Clouds start to fill on in as we go into Christmas morning. Still very quiet if you need to get out to Mass or whatever you're doing. And then by Thursday afternoon, still pretty quiet. It's going to be late Thursday night that we bring in some moisture. I see rain starting to push around the 94 corridor and probably some rain just to the north as well. But we'll have to watch out for freezing rain and a wintry mix. Eventually probably transitioning over to more snow off towards the east. And that's going to probably linger into Friday morning. So we'll have to watch out Friday morning for some traveling slowdowns. Just be prepared for that. Friday night's good. Then we have a cold front moving on through Saturday. And right now, weather models are just painting some rain. But I'm skeptical about that system on Saturday. So we're going to have to monitor that. I do believe that we'll probably have something that's a little more winter-like on Saturday with that cold air rushing in. But of course, that could change in the next couple of days, and our next weather promise is keeping you ready for it. All right, behind that, we get to 17 on Sunday, 16 on Monday. That feels more like a Minnesota forecast right there. In the meantime, just easygoing weather. We just have to wait it out until Thursday night to see how that plays out, and then we'll have to keep an eye on Saturday. But it's a good week. It's a good week for travel, as we mentioned. We knocked on the wood earlier. We'll keep it going.
Then we'll just need to replenish our snow.
Yes.
We do need that. We're going to lose some snow, but I think around here we'll at least keep a little something on the ground for us.
All right. Okay. Joseph, thank you.
If you have a resolution to get rid of or avoid debt, our money expert has some advice to help.
Yeah, our money expert, Dustin Smith from Wealth Enhancement Group, here with us. Dustin, good time to talk. I mean, anytime's a good time to talk about debt, but something here at the end of the year, because not all debt is bad.
Correct, right? So sometimes we might call this good debt, but that might be a misnomer. Maybe better debt is a better way to think about it. And so this is generally debt that is created because you're trying to improve your long-term financial situation. So think about it as like maybe a loan to start up a small business, right, that will hopefully be one day self-sustaining, or maybe even to pay for your education, right? Because the goal isn't just to go to college, to experience college. It's to try to make more money when you come out than you would have had you not gone in the first place.
Right, or a mortgage.
Or a mortgage, right?
I mean, I think that's the main thing that people think about when they think about good debt, because something you'll eventually own after time.
You'll own, and it's usually a longer term loan, right, with hopefully lower interest rates along the way.
I think some might disagree with you about the student loans, but that's a
depends on what you're going into, right? Absolutely.
Okay, bad debt.
Yeah, so bad debt, this is generally created two ways, right? So one of them is like you're trying to support a lifestyle that you couldn't afford in the first place, right? Maybe going out to fancy restaurants or trips or whatnot. But often it's created just because life happens, right? So your car breaks down, your kid gets sick or something along those lines, and you're forced to pay for those things on, let's say, a high interest credit card. That debt is not great. That's the worst debt because it's really hard to get out from under. And it usually just kind of spirals, right? And so that's really what we want to pay down first.
Okay, so you have some of this bad debt. What would be the steps to start knocking that down?
So first step is just understand what you have. So I know it sounds super silly.
Oh, you mean don't bury your head in the sand?
Act like it's not happening. Who does that? But seriously, make a list, right? And say, where do you owe money? How much do you owe? What's your interest rate? And what's your minimum payment? Start there, right? That's step one. Step two is just to try to find some sort of payment plan that you are willing to stay with. So a couple very popular ones. One of them is we call it a debt avalanche. And Beret, this is like where you focus on paying down your highest interest card first, right? Because mathematically that might save you the most money. Another one is what we call the debt snowball. And so this is where you go, you know what, I'm not going to focus on the interest rate so much. I'm going to focus on paying down the smallest debt first because that makes you feel warm and fuzzy because you actually paid something off, right? That gives you that momentum. So either one of those can be good. You just got to find the one that you're willing to stick with.
And they're either of them are good. It just kind of depends what gives you that motivation to keep going.
Yes. So those can all be good. And then finally, what I always kind of leave people with is try to protect your progress.
What does that mean?
Okay, so, right, so life always continues to happen, right? So your car is always going to break down even when you're trying to pay off your debt. So if you can along the way, yes, you want to focus on paying down your debt, but also try to build up some sort of small savings account along the way. So even if you're socking away $20 a week or something like along those lines, it's at least giving you a place to draw from. So when that unexpected thing happens, you're able to not use a credit card.
And there are groups out there that can help you figure out the best ways for you to help pay off your debt.
Yeah, I mean, there are, and there's lots of really great apps and other sort of things that you can find, right? But everyone's unique, right? And
for sure.
and especially if you have a partner in your life, right, a spouse or whatnot, those are really great people you want to bring in to this, right? Because it's a team, and they're also going to keep you honest.
Absolutely.
Yeah, very true.
All right. Well, Dustin, it's always great to talk with you. Thank you.
Thank you.
So from Bon Iver to Kendrick Lamar, a lot of new music to choose from in 2025. So what albums and artists came out on top over at the Electric Fetus? Here to talk about that and some really cool gift ideas.
yes.
We got Electric Fetus music by our Jim Novak. Jim, thanks for being here.
Love being here.
You guys have been slammed.
It's a little crazy right now, not gonna lie. But it is the last minute shopper's paradise.
It sure is.
We have 30,000 albums in stock. I was telling you guys during the break that I've got to beat the delivery drivers back to the store. We have over 1,000 albums landing today that I've got to price and get upstairs. So yes, we have 30,000 albums and 10,000 gift things. And so yes, we do have time and we are open tomorrow. So
Okay.
That's good to know. Good to know for those last minute shoppers. Okay, we have so many albums here. Who came out on top with albums this year?
Well, our album of the year was Kendrick Lamar's GNX, obviously
Yes, it was.
Super Bowl headliner, and that album
Yes.
just exploded at the beginning of the year. And between Kendrick and Tyler the Creator, I mean, those are the two biggest names in hip hop, really. So it's a really strong seller all year.
What about the top overall selling artist? Was it Kendrick or was it?
It was Kendrick.
It was Kendrick.
Yes,
Okay.
because obviously he's had a pretty lengthy career, a lot of albums,
he
and a
has.
lot of like the best, most cherished hip hop albums of the last 15 years. So really between Good Kid, Mad City and his other records, he is solid all year round.
Okay, and who else did you bring then?
Well, Kendrick had the benefit of a head start. Our hottest record right now is Olivia Dean. This album is probably my pick for album of the year.
Okay.
It is a soulful R&B record that's got flavors of Aretha and Amy Winehouse and Adele in it. It is a really smooth R&B record. It's my pick for record of the year.
The Art of Loving?
The Art of Loving is the name of it, yes.
He's got a couple earworms, speaking of earworms.
Yes.
Absolutely.
We got some local artists?
Yes, so our top-selling local album of the year is this one. It is probably considered the most iconic album of one of the most iconic Minneapolis bands,
Yes.
Let It Be by The Replacements. And the cool thing about this album is that it's got some live albums or live content from it from back in the day. So we've talked here before about how music can be a time machine. It takes you back to where. So if you listen to these live records, it's like it takes you back to the CC Club days, and you can almost smell like the stale cigarettes and the spilled the Hams beer on the floor. Like it is really a time machine, and it is awesome. It takes you back for sure.
Yeah.
I mean, I love the music at Electric Fetus, but I even love more your gifts. I've gotten so many good gifts that I've never found anywhere else. What do you bring today?
We do have a pretty amazing gift department.
Yes, you do.
This year was a big anniversary for Peanuts, so we have the Snoopy Warmie. You warm that up. Peanuts Clue. I had to look it up because obviously part of the Clue experience is murder. This is about solving the mystery of who took Linus's blanket.
Yep. Who took Linus's blanket?
So,
That's cute.
So yes, this is absolutely
Family friendly.
Charlie Brown
And
friendly.
what did they turn it into?
Yes, exactly right. So this is all about
okay.
Linus's blanket. This doesn't have that. And one of the biggest surprises to me this year is Discman. We are selling so many portable CD players, and we're seeing it on the music side too, as far as our CD business growing double digits every month,
Really?
year over year.
People are coming in.
People are coming in, and I think part of it has to do with people they just want to have something that they own. I think everybody's had that experience of the music or the TV show or the movie that they love disappears from whatever streaming service they use. Well, if you have a vinyl record or the CD, it's yours. You own it. We've had to show people how to work a CD player because,
Yeah, I
Makes
do.
sense.
Yeah.
Jim, before we let you go, I so badly want to press this, but then you told me that the batteries aren't in it.
No, for your safety, we took the batteries out of the instant dance party.
For my earworm safety.
Yes, exactly. For everyone's earworm safety, we have taken the batteries out of that. But come to the store, push the button, hear what it's about.
There you go.
Fantastic. As always, so great to have you. So wonderful to have you. Go see them today and tomorrow. Jim, great to talk with you. We know many people making those plans for Christmas dinner.
So ham is often a traditional choice. Some people go for turkey again, while other folks go in totally different directions with their Christmas dinner meal. What do you guys do?
Ham, turkey.
Ham. We do an Italian dish. So my mom does stuffed shells, spaghetti, meatballs, things like that.
Ooh, like on Christmas Day.
Christmas Eve night, and then we do a brunch on Christmas Day, and then we just have leftovers.
Oh, that's great. Yeah.
We don't do ham or turkey. It kind of depends. Yeah, we've done prime rib in the past.
Okay.
Oh, yeah, that's popular.
Yeah, but we haven't done that for years. So Swedish meatballs is on the menu this year.
Oh, excellent.
Yeah.
I like
So
that.
we just did one of our family Christmases on Sunday.
Yeah.
And I said, and I was the cook of the dinner, and I said, hey, let's have ham. And everyone was like, no.
Really?
Yeah, and they all wanted turkey. And I was like, we just had turkey a month ago. And they were like, no, turkey. So turkey it was. This time, though, I didn't do the full, like, big giant brine. This time all they got was the turkey breast.
Yeah.
They just got the turkey breast this time. And then they got the...
well, it's a process.
They got the stuffing from the grocery store. But yes.
Still tasty.
Still good, yeah.
Yes, exactly. But I don't know. I think it's just one of those things. It's like, for our family, it's just sort of like this tradition. Like you just said, like every year we have Italian and then we do brunch the next morning. Like you know exactly what you're doing.
Hasn't deviated.
Yeah.
Unless I wasn't there.
And I'll be interested to see like what happens like in your family as you carry on these traditions, because we how I've carried on them like growing up too.
Yeah. I mean, we do brunch too, Christmas Day, and now my sister, for her family, makes the same exact egg dish. Literally, it's the egg dish has never deviated in my, 30 years of living.
Have some Swedish meatballs on the side.
Yeah. Tasty.
Earlier, we talked about making Christmas dinner plans, so we wanted your feedback on what you are having.
Laurie says, we usually get together Christmas Eve and have lasagna or enchiladas. We make tons of hors d'oeuvres. Christmas Day, we all get together again and have turkey and ham, all the sides. There you go. My sister and I are busy cooking for a couple of days, but every family moment, that's worth it.
Terry says so much cooking is happening. Christmas Eve is our traditional Swedish meatball sausage and mashed potatoes Christmas dinner, short rib bolognese. And Christmas take 2 on Friday is prime ribs and cheesy potatoes.
Wow,
oh my gosh.
That sounds good. We've got another Terry response. They say we did tacos. Everyone loves tacos. Very true. The last 2 years, but ham and all the sides is on the table this year. Would have preferred tacos. Love the honesty. Thanks for your feedback, everyone. If you're looking for some holiday treats, the Buttered Tin can help, including their cinnamon roll of the month.
So we got Katie Parrish, corporate pastry chef, for all of the Buttered Tins here. Katie, thanks so much for coming in today.
Thank you, guys.
Only you can smell it. It's amazing.
Yes, it's so okay. So we know your cinnamon rolls legendary. They're in a whole bunch of grocery stores. They're here, but you have this new thing, this cinnamon roll of the month.
In October, we launched our roll of the month. So it's a rotating flavor that we have in addition to our regular cinnamon rolls. Of course, we couldn't get rid of those. So this month, the month of December, we did an almond cream roll. Last month we did a caramel pecan, and then we did a pumpkin pie roll in October. So we try and do seasonal flavors or something that kind of reminds you of the season. And then coming up next week, we will be launching the January flavor. So.
Still a secret?
Still secret.
Still a secret.
Fair.
Yeah.
Okay, so you've got kind of a layout here. Can you tell us how you put this all together?
So our almond cream rolls are filled with this almost like a frangipane.
Okay.
So
what's a frangipane?
So it's ground up almonds, butter, sugar. We did a little orange zest in it as well, just to give them a little punch of flavor.
The roll
that
right
is
there.
rolled into it.
Okay.
Yep, with some added butter, of course. We have to add more butter, the buttered tin. It's all rolled up, proofed, baked, and then we're gonna top it off with an almond icing. Again, we have some orange zest in this, kind of gives it just a little punch of flavor. We top it with the icing, and then we'll put sliced almonds on top.
Fantastic. So are these just available in the stores, or are these available also in your Butterton shops, or are they also available
They are
these?
just baked fresh every morning by our bakers in the restaurant location.
And remind us the restaurant locations and then the new one coming up soon.
Yeah, so we have the St. Paul location, of course, our flagship
Which is over
location.
near Rice Park.
Correct, yep. And then we have the Northeast Minneapolis location on Lowry. And then we have a new one set to open in March in Plymouth. So that side of the cities, get ready. It will be in Plymouth inside the Coburns.
Oh, okay.
Yep.
Great.
That's
but but if people are looking for, I mean, I've had these before. We had them for Thanksgiving.
Awesome.
Where can people find these?
So we are in a bunch of stores. We are in Kowalski's, Linds and Byerly's.
Okay.
I believe Speedway, places like that, and some Cub Foods. And then we are actually selling them at both of our restaurant locations right now as well. So you can order them online to go and come into the restaurant and pick them up.
Okay. And I'll tell you, they I don't know how they did it, but somehow they make it like it's in the restaurant. So Katie, thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
Yeah.
Well, Minnesota's governor says he expects to see the immigration crackdown ramp up as we enter the holiday season. Today, he and other leaders spoke out about the safety issues that could bring. Our John Lordson heard from the governor and others and joins us now from Minneapolis with more. Hi, John.
Hi, Barry. Yeah, his statements are made here at Shiloh Temple in Minneapolis, where he was joined by Mayors Carter, Mayor Fry, and dozens of other faith and community leaders. They say their message is a lack of human decency when it comes to ICE protocols. Governor Walz accused ICE and President Trump of using tactics that create chaos, political theater, and fear, and that people are no longer shopping at Somali and Latino-owned businesses over concerns of being arrested by federal agents. Leaders added that ICE's tactics are putting people's lives at risk, and they're expecting more activity over the holidays.
I would fully expect, and we are preparing for, an influx of more agents, more of the very visible public theatrics of the raids, of the harassments, and you got faith leaders here. I would not put it past this administration to target midnight mass services amongst folks going to worship.
Yeah, Walz and others reiterated that local law enforcement is not involved in these ICE raids, nor will they be, but they believe that these raids are putting local law enforcement at risk as well. Now, keep in mind, Barrett, both President Trump and Congressman Tom Emmer in recent weeks and months have accused Governor Walz and others of obstructing the work of federal agents. So there's been a lot of back and forth here in recent weeks and probably through the holidays as well.
Yeah, a story we will continue to follow. Thanks, John.
Very, very calm conditions, but I'm certain you probably have to do some traveling in the coming days. Maybe you're just running to the gas station, or maybe you're just running to the store. There's going to be a few things that come through. First one's going to be on Christmas. The second one's going to be for the weekend. I'm going to go through both of those with the weather model in just 1 second. As far as temperatures go, it is going to be quite mild. Today's the coolest day, and it will be in the lower 30s. Warmer air is going to come rushing in. It's going to take us up probably another 5, 6, 7 degrees by the time we go into tomorrow through Christmas and into Saturday. All right, maybe some rain late Saturday night for us, maybe some freezing drizzle too. Winter weather returns Saturday with a chance for a wintry mix there. And then cold and windy conditions on Sunday. Back down to the teens, single digits, as we kind of unlock some of that colder air from up north, and we're not tapping into that warm dome of air that's situated through the plains and down to the Four Corners and into Texas. We have ridging going on. Storms and any chance for snow is going to be up in the northeast, and then a whole lot of water coming in off the Pacific out to the west. So it depends on what you want. You probably don't want all the rain. That's just going to be dangerous out there. But if you wanted warmer temperatures, you're going to get it. It is going to be very, very warm around here. Over in Colorado, in Denver, over in Oklahoma City, temperatures likely in the 70s for Christmas. And I saw really fascinating comments earlier that areas like Oklahoma City topped off in the lower 80s on the 4th of July, and they're only going to be like 5, 6 degrees cooler than their 4th of July temperature, which just blows my mind. Okay, 32 degrees for our forecast high today. There you go, nearly 70 degrees out in Denver. Just a short drive and flight away. Tomorrow we're at 36, 67 down in Denver. That's where all that warm air is. quite mild out to the west is pretty typical. And then you can see some of the temperatures off towards the east for our Christmas Eve. And then as we approach Christmas, we cool down to the 20s there overnight, but we should rebound back to probably the 30s by afternoon. So here's your Christmas Day forecast. Up north, temperatures in the 20s. We'll go with 35 around here. Notice an icon with a little bit of rain, and then 37 degrees down to the southwest there for Worthington. This is where we'll kind of pick things up. I'm going to speed through our Christmas Eve, but there's a little bit of moisture down to the southeast if you're traveling in that direction. But come Christmas Day, here's the cloud cover. Here's our first chance for some moisture. Now, I think we could get some drizzle late Thursday night, probably some freezing rain northeast. So I am concerned about some local travel up north, and that carries over into Friday morning as well. If you're going to be in that general area, North Shore, South Shore, extending into some of our counties of Wisconsin, you may have some slippery conditions there. The rest of us, probably good. Second one's going to be the cold front that comes sweeping through on Saturday. And right now, weather models are indicating some rain, but I'm skeptical. I still think that we could get some winter weather out of that system as cold air rushes in. Most of the precipitation for us up north, look at that. Out to the west there, they're going to be dealing with multiple inches of rain, 5, 6, 7 inches, causing some flooding concerns over in California. So completely different holiday for those folks there. 37 Friday, we know that. I mentioned the cool air comes rushing in Saturday after the cold front, Barrett, down to 17. Ooh. And overnight temperatures down in the single digits. But for now, pretty mild. We just have to keep an eye on Thursday night and Saturday evening.
Those teens are going to feel really cold.
Well, when it's 40 degrees, we hit 40 yesterday, basically. Oh. So, like, when we go back down to those teens,
it's going to be rough.
It's tough. Yeah.
Always an adjustment. All right. Thanks, Joseph.